What's up, plebeians? Neil with the Baldwin Plebs. I'm joined once again by Big Rick. Rick, thanks for joining me tonight for the Exposed Gaming Podcast.
Hi,
This is
this is
season.
episode numero dos of season 2. We do
Yeah.
not have a set schedule. This comes out whenever the fuck we feel like.
Yeah, we're on our own time. We kind of grown out of that whole, like, I need that social media. What's that called? I need to be glazed by social media viewers all the time. We kind of grew out of that phase of our
And I'm
lives.
sure the OG watchers of the Pleb podcast, what's it called? The gaming podcast. I already forgot.
The Exposed Gaming Podcast I
We
just said 30
are
seconds ago.
down. Yeah, we are down one member. But that's fine. You can do it.
Anyway, welcome back to another episode, guys. Today we're going to be predicting the biggest flops in 2025. So it's going to be games
Predicted
coming out.
flops.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's going to be games coming out that we think are going to be totally mid and mediocre.
Yeah, I'll let you start it off.
Okay, I don't have any. Go ahead, Ricky. Take it away.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Well, the
I'm
first
just
thing that
kidding. I'm
comes
just
to
kidding. I'm
mind.
just kidding. I'm
Okay,
just kidding.
okay,
I will
okay.
say this. I will say this. I was streaming Indiana Jones earlier today,
Yeah.
and I was asked what my thoughts are on that new game coming from Obsidian. It starts with an A.
Obsidian. Avowed.
Avowed.
Yeah.
So I think the game is dead on arrival. I think it's going to be fine. Like, I think the actual game itself will be fine.
It'll be
Right?
normal mid.
Right?
Yeah.
I want you guys to learn to differentiate when we say stuff like that. I personally think it's dead on arrival. I don't think the game will ever be able to achieve what it needs to achieve because of all the drama circulating around the game right now.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, I'm not saying I don't think the game will be good or that it will have some good parts to it, but I think that the game's image has already
Mm.
been marred by
Yep.
unnecessary drama.
Yep.
Matt Hansen should be fired, and all that
It's
shit.
another dude. It's another Dragon Age the Veilguard situation.
It is.
That's what it is.
But to be fair, Dragon Age the Veilguard was bad.
Yeah, that's true.
So I still feel like Avowed could be good. And even some of my more liberal leaning friends, we were talking the other day, and I sent them a kind of a clip of some of the stuff that's been going
Mm.
on, and he's like, "Dude, why can't these companies just stop being so goddamn stupid?"
This is the way I see it, right? And I made this point before, where I don't think DEI and inclusion is the issue with these games.
I don't either.
It's the fact that, like, for Veilguard, for instance, I don't care that there's a trans character, gay, whatever. The actual game itself isn't good. The narrative is not good. It's poorly written. The gameplay is very mediocre. Action combat, like, it's just not Dragon Age, and that's why it failed.
The conversations around the character's gender identity and all this other bullshit,
Right.
they feel so
It's
bogus.
very self-insert, you know.
It is very self-inserting. Well, look at who's in charge of the Dragon Age development. That's all
Well,
you got
I
to
feel you.
know. Yeah, that's all you got to know,
The thing
dude.
is, like I said, I don't care that the character's trans, like, at all. Like,
I
it can
don't
be
either.
trans and it can still be a cool warrior.
Yeah,
But the fact that there's a whole, like, I don't want to get into Veilguard, but, like, the whole dinner sequence with their family, right? And they're going back and forth
yeah,
about the identity and all that. Like,
should never
that's just
happen.
so unnecessary.
Should
They should
never be in
focus
a
on
game.
good narrative storytelling,
Yep.
gameplay, and character development, which that game has none. None of any of the things.
Yep, it doesn't belong in the game. Dragon Age: The Veilguard is a bad game,
Um, So when it
and
comes to Avowed,
yeah,
I won't go into the drama about that, but it's kind of the same situation where they're adding these things and then they're taking it out for playtesting and all this because they don't want to be another Veilguard. The
but
game, it could be great. It could have great combat and gameplay, but just
yep,
like the surrounding drama around it is just not good.
yeah. Remember, do you remember when they had the pre-launch trailer and they had that weird looking thing play in the game talking about how she
Mm.
or it or whatever it is
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
was real excited because they had top surgery scars for their trans rooks and they had they them for their non-binary rooks. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay. And you see how that went.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, it doesn't make sense to me in the whole realm of media how these things fail and fail and fail and fail, and they continue to do it.
Yeah,
It's like it
yeah,
doesn't make any sense.
yeah,
All people care about is, like I said, it's the storytelling and good gameplay.
yeah.
You
Well,
know?
it's really funny because even like currently in development with like The Witcher 4, right?
Yeah,
People are pissed off because the lore writer is a retard who hates gamers.
yeah.
Well, why are you there? Why are you working there? Quit your
I
job and
I
go
understand.
quit your job and go work somewhere else. Like nobody wants you in that position if you hate the gamers. Like you don't
Yeah,
belong there. Right?
I understand.
I don't care about Siri being a quote witcher. I don't care about whether the original author said this, that, or the other thing. I don't care.
Hmm.
I don't care about any of that stuff. None of that stuff matters to me. Never has.
No.
I'm just all I'm talking about is these people that clearly hate gamers. They clearly have an agenda they're looking to push. Like, dude, stop ruining our fun.
And I will say this.
Go ruin your own fun, right? Go hate your own life on your own
Hmm.
time. Just for real.
In regard to that, and it, again, it's not because that person is either gay or woke or whatever. It's because they're literally proven to just they've made statements against gamers in their community.
Yeah.
CBPR is a very woke company. It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Like, but
Even though they've
yeah,
been
they've
trying
had
to prove
yeah.
that they're not, but they are.
Oh no, they are. They are 100% woke. And the thing is that even their writers, whether they be gay or not, they made like Cyberpunk. You know, it's an amazing game with an amazing narrative. Like that's not the
Yeah.
issue. The issue is they're hiring people that just don't give a shit about the IP they're working on or the community they're trying to sell the game to.
Yeah. The customer is important. As a business owner, the customer is
Hmm.
important. And you always there has to be a balance, right? How much are you willing to give? How much are you willing to lean? Especially when you are playing around with lore and you have a very passionate fan base. You know, again, is Siri being the main character the best decision? I don't know. That's not for me to decide. We haven't seen the game yet. Hopefully, the game
Hmm.
is really good and it won't matter, right?
The thing is about Siri, right? It's like all the controversy around that is so stupid. Like I understand if you go to lore, how people don't like how they're creating new witches, even though their formula is destroyed or whatever. It's like I'm sure they can find a way to fix it.
in
But
the
like,
in the original books, the author and the characters do refer to Siri
yeah,
as Witcher.
a Witcher, but she's like full fledged Witcher, which is the issue, right? Because they don't have the
Yeah,
mutation anymore.
sure. That's
Um,
whatever. That's whatever. I
yeah,
get it.
that's
I
like they,
understand
that's
that.
yeah,
But
the,
what I'm telling you is
mm,
she is canonically referred to as
yeah.
Witcher.
No, I understand that. And the thing is, like, I feel like people are dogging on it because it's it's a female lead. But like, dude, first of all, we've only seen a CG trailer. We know nothing of the narrative.
Yeah.
You know, the character model's probably not final. Guys, been seeing a lot of hate about her being ugly, which that's interesting because I don't think she is. But
Wait till
it's all just like,
casuals. Hey, wait till casuals find out that Geralt dies.
uh um,
Seriously.
it's
Wait
all
till
just reasons to cry and moan, right?
yeah, yeah,
Like they're just clawing at anything
yeah.
until we see the actual game and the gameplay. That's all I care about, right? I care about the gameplay and the narrative. You know, I don't really care that I play as Ciri or Geralt or whoever.
Some
I
people
mean,
probably got mad at
mhm,
me because I said I'm not buying The Witcher 4 on day 1.
yeah, that's totally fine.
Well, there's no way I'm going to. Just like I'm not buying oh, what was the other game I was talking about? The new one,
Mm.
Avowed.
Intergalactic. Oh no,
Intergalactic
about
and
okay.
Avowed. Yeah, both of those. I'm not getting either of those games on day none of those games on day 1. And if you have a problem
No,
with what they're showing you in these trailers and development and the way these people are acting towards the fan base, you shouldn't either.
yeah.
Let's be real about it, Rick, you know?
Hmm.
But
In
yeah,
the situation of Intergalactic is really interesting, right? Because I personally I don't care that she's a bald chick
yeah,
that's
I don't
like not
either.
attractive.
I don't either.
What I do care about though is that the game itself, like the trailer was cool, the old '80s sci-fi, but the game itself takes place on a barren planet, and you use an energy sword. Like it just sounds boring to me.
Yeah.
Um, it doesn't sound interesting at all. I'm sure the character's cool, but like when I first saw the trailer, I thought, oh, okay, we're gonna be exploring space and the cool
Yeah.
or ship. But no, you're just on that planet. You get stranded there. Your goal is to get off. You have a standard energy sword, like it's very generic.
Yeah. I would
That's
tell
the only reason
people
why I have no hype for that game.
I would tell people uh concerned about Intergalactic, you need to wait till that game releases, and
Yeah.
you need to watch about an hour to 2 hours of actual gameplay,
Hmm.
because that's what the game is going to be, right? Whatever you see in that first 2 hours, that is what the game is. And now some
Hmm.
people will argue that that's not the case. For the, I would say 99% of games, the first 2 hours of a game is
That's what
exactly
it
what
is.
the game is. And
I've
if
always
you
heard this
don't,
argument, dude,
yeah,
where
it's, we always get that argument,
yeah.
right? We hear, and you and I hear that a lot, but
Hmm.
it's like, guys, I'm sorry to
So
tell you, if you
yeah.
don't like the first 2 hours, you're not going to like the next 100
Mm-mm.
hours. Right, Ricky? Your
I want to
thoughts?
say, same thing with like TV, right? Somebody tells me, "Oh, this show doesn't get good until episode 5." Well, then I'm not gonna fucking watch it.
No.
You know, I'm not gonna waste my time watching it if it doesn't get good until like 5 hours later.
Can I
Same thing with
skip
a
the
video
first
game.
four
Why would I?
episodes?
Yeah. Why would I buy this video game, play it for 2 hours? Like, oh, it's gonna get good at hour 10. It's like, no, this game is trash. I don't like it now. I'm not gonna like it in 10 hours from now. It's such a stupid argument.
Yeah, I'm always surprised. I'm always surprised. And I was telling somebody this the other day, and I think they got a little bit mad at me. I'm surprised how much free time people have to piss away on things like that. Then again, I used to do it a lot when I was in college. I used to spend full Saturdays just sitting there playing 12 hours
Mhm.
with the Gears of War 2 and other games, back when games were still good. And but now I'm just kind of like, how did I ever spend 12 hours in a day sitting there playing video games? Was I that
Yeah.
boring? Like, was I
You,
seriously? Was I that
mhm.
boring?
You know what's funny? When I played Veilguard for the first time, and I say played very loosely, 'cause I only had 6 hours.
Oh boy.
A friend of mine told me, "Oh, it around 8 hours in when the narrative really kicks off." I put like 6 hours into it, and I just couldn't do it anymore. Like that argument is so silly. If I have to spend multiple hours and it doesn't hook me within the first hour, it's trash. That's it.
Yeah, if you haven't, honestly, if you haven't been able to hook me within the first, I would say, hour to 2 hours of gameplay, uh,
Hmm.
your game's getting refunded.
Like an hour or 2 hour, like 2 hours is the max point for me. That's it. Like, and I know some games have like it's all very narrative heavy at the first hour, and then you really get into stuff, and that's
Yeah,
like kind of varies. But
sure,
no,
sure. Well, somebody was asking me today what I thought about Indiana Jones and the Great Circle,
mm.
and basically I told them I wish this would have been the next Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah. Instead, they came out with I'm
Instead,
forgetting the name of it. It was horrible though.
yeah, Indiana Jones and the gender swap of woke, basically.
I will say, freaking Troy Baker did an amazing job as Indy. Amazing. Did you finish Indiana Jones?
Not yet.
Really good. He does a really Troy Baker's one of my favorite voice actors, and he did a really amazing job with that character.
Nice. Well, good. Yeah. So Avowed, bringing everything back full circle here now. Avowed for me, the jury is still out on whether Avowed will actually be a good game. Right. That's
Hmm.
not what this is about. I think that due to a lot of the politics and a lot of the back and forth going on with Avowed right now, I think it is going to struggle on launch, and I think the game is kind of going to end up being a dud because.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
I think Avowed on I might be in a minority here, but I think it looks mid as hell.
Where are you from?
The minority.
Are you from Cuba?
Whatever. Avowed looks very mid to me. It doesn't. It looks like Skyrim, which I never was interested in. So
Yeah.
automatically, this game just isn't for me.
It looks like
Um,
it looks like like it wants to capture the magic of Skyrim, but
yeah, it's just not something that interests me. But
yeah.
I don't know what to say about it. We have to see more closer to when it comes out. I don't. I don't think. I think it would be DOA though.
Do we though? Do we? They've already got the woke shit in there.
Yeah.
They've already got they them in there.
Yeah. They're hitting all the nails. Well, let's move on. I want to talk about Ghost of
Kingdom.
Tsushima
Oh,
Yotai.
I want to talk about Kingdom Come.
Kingdom Come
I want to
Deliverance.
talk about Kingdom Come in my asshole deliverance. That's what I want to talk about.
Well, let me. Yeah, let's talk about that first.
No, no, no.
Kingdom Come Deliverance.
No, we'll talk about Ghost of Yotai or whatever. You want to talk about that. They had a chance to make a sequel to an amazing game, and instead they went with some fucking bogus ass shit.
Woke ass chick.
Is it woke though? Like, do we know this? Do we know it's woke, or are we just saying that because it stars a woman? Because I don't call something that stars a woman woke. I don't think Tomb Raider was woke at all.
No, I'm not calling it woke because it's a woman. Let me see. I just feel like it's so unnecessary because Jin had so much more story to be told. I don't know if you ever played the first game.
I actually didn't. Jared said it was really good.
Yeah, it was really good. The ending was great, and I feel like his story could have been expanded upon past the Iki Island expansion. But instead, we're going 300 years in the future of a character that is not very interesting to me. However, we only saw that introduction cinematic, right? So we would have to see more to make a firm judgment on that.
Okay.
Um, but I know that it's voice. Let me see. It's kind of spicy. The voice actress. She's a radical like feminist
Oh yeah,
or an
I heard
activist.
that. I heard they
Yeah,
were an activist and making
yeah.
dumb comments. Ah, why can't they learn? Why can't
Like
these
stuff like
people
that,
learn?
right? Like that's like when you hire people like this, it's what ruins the game.
Well,
Or
look
like
at
Tatiana from Intergalactic, where
yeah,
she went
look at
online the other day and told everybody, "Oh, you mad, bro?" Because nobody
yeah,
likes her characters. Like, don't interact with the community like that.
yeah. Look at Titty. What's her name? Intergalactic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at Titty Bald Bitch. Yeah.
You know,
I
Intergalactic is more disliked than the Concord trailer.
I know. I saw
And she
that.
literally
Yeah.
posted out, "You mad?" It's like, well, first of all, you're talking to the people that are gonna buy your game.
Yeah. I don't.
That automatically turns people off.
So dumb.
And when you hire people like this, it just kills all hype for it. And maybe Yotai is a good game. I haven't, I haven't
Yeah.
seen too much of it yet. It's
Yeah.
probably gonna be just like Ghost of Tsushima, so I'm probably not gonna buy it day one.
Yeah. Well, I think right because we've been talking about this for how long now. I think if these games are including these things that you don't like, and I'm not saying like, oh, we don't like female main characters. I'm saying we don't like games that do one thing over the other for the sake of, DEI bullshit. You know, so I don't actually have anything to say about the next Ghost game. I actually don't care. I don't have any love for the first game. I wasn't like, oh my god, this was a
Hmm.
life changing game. Oh, they could have made a sequel. I don't care, right? If Ghost of Yotai is good or Yotai is good, I'll play it or will play
Hmm.
it. We don't actually care. I don't actually on my side. I don't actually care. But everything I've been seeing, like you mentioned, now you hire these people, these activists. Yeah,
Hmm.
okay,
Exactly.
yeah.
That's all I
Remember,
have to say about that. But
yeah, they say work stops when activism starts.
hmm
So
hmm
that bothers me. I don't like to see it, but I don't have any frame of reference for this game for me to be like, oh yeah, people are just mad, bro. Like, eh, could still be a good game.
yeah,
Just like I said with
it
Avowed,
could be good.
it could
Mhm.
still be a good game. I will say Ghost of Yote. I said I think Avowed is going to flop. I think Avowed is going to struggle really bad. I will say Ghost of Yotai is. I think they're going to get glazed by like IGN and stuff because they're a bunch of dick suckers. So I think they'll get glazed by the big name review outlets, and I think the
Hmm.
fans. I think the
That always
fans.
happens. Yep.
And I think the fans will shit on them.
Always remember, you don't go by the critics, you go by the audience score.
Yep.
That's all you gotta know.
Yep. That's all you got to know. So, what do
Let's
you
move
think?
on over to
Well, what do you think will happen with Ghost?
uh I don't think it's gonna be as popular as part one because again, it was a new thing when part one came out, and everybody's gonna play it. It's like, it's gonna be the same world, just a different story. So I don't feel like it's gonna have like Spider-Man 2, for instance. Bigger game, but not as hype as part one. The story was mediocre, gameplay was the same. I don't think Ghost of Tsushima Yotai is gonna break any walls down or anything. It's just gonna be more of the same.
Yeah.
So I feel like it'll do good, like sales wise, it'll do good. But I don't think it's gonna like be like huge numbers for that game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like average.
Well, here we go. Let's talk about this one. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. The most
Now,
anticipated sequel to a broken ass meme mediocre game in history.
I never played Kingdom Come Deliverance. All I know from what you've told me, and I heard it's just like a really bad, shitty game.
Here's all you got to know. Kingdom Come Deliverance had buckets of potential, and it only half realized it. When we were reacting to Kingdom Come Deliverance trailers, when we still took that stuff seriously on YouTube, when we still really put ourselves into this channel, this was like 2019, that kind of shit, 2018, 2019. I remember getting like death to this channel because we didn't say it was the best looking game and we were so hyped for it. We said, this looks kind of mediocre. Oh, who are these bald nobodies? Death to this channel. Like, dude, what a fuck. You're a loser. Like, if that's how you act on the internet, you are a loser. You know what you are. I just want to say this. I know I'm getting off topic. You're just as big of a loser as the dude that cries in my Amazon Prime reaction because I didn't show the full Warhammer 40K video or bother to edit in snippets of it. Dude, do you think that a grown-ass man who's successful like me has time to do that kind of stupid shit? You guys wanted the reaction. I gave you the reaction. Quit fucking crying. Like, the game Kingdom Come Deliverance, the original game, I went really hard there. Holy cow. The original Kingdom Come Deliverance was bad. Was bad. On launch, it was really bad. As time went on and Warhorse had time to work on it, like they should have taken in the first place, it got a lot better. It did. I'm not going to deny that. It did get a lot better. I did beat the original Kingdom Come Deliverance, so I am fully licensed to say it was not that good of a game. However, there were shines of absolute brilliance in that game. I'd be lying to you if I said there wasn't. So my prediction for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is Warhorse knows what they're doing now, and they've been working on this game pretty much since the first one came out, I would assume. I think Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is going to be a good game. I don't think it's going to be mind-blowing. I don't think it's going to be terrible like the first one. I think it's going to be a good game. And I hope so because I am buying it on day one.
Are you?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I know the views and interactions will be
That's true.
Will be worth the $70 spend.
It'd be a lot more than fucking buying Witcher. So.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no,
at least for this channel.
There's no other game coming out this year other than Monster Hunter Wilds that I'm actually buying, like full on paying full money for on day one. I'm buying Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm not day one-ing any other games in 25.
Okay.
I think Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 will be good.
Well, I hope so. I'm sure they had to have learned from part 1.
I hope so. I really hope so because part 1 struggled out of the gate. But part 1 is an example of a game that if you put the time into, it does get better. It is one of the rare examples of that. The only reason I found that out is because I had a subscriber at the time who saw my reaction to the first hour and a half of gameplay and said, "Hey, I want to buy you the game." And he said, "I want you to play the whole game." So I told him, if you buy me the game, I'll record and play every single part of this game. It was like 36 or 38 episodes I ended up uploading for him. Yeah, I have a full
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was wild. Yeah, it was crazy. Big shout out to Braden Koina for showing some love to the channel way back when we really needed it. Yeah, big shout out.
So,
do you not
day
care
one,
about
Kingdom Come Deliverance.
I was going to say, do you not care about Kingdom Come? What are your thoughts?
I don't know anything about it, so I really can't comment on it. I don't know anything about that game at all. So to move on.
Well, one thing I want to say is, now, you notice something that's been going on with like a lot of these other games we've been talking about, like Avowed. and
Yeah.
The Witcher and all this other stuff. It was like
Hmm.
people are talking about him, right? People are like, oh, a lot of bad discussions about him. Have you heard anything necessarily for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2?
No, I literally have no information on that game. Well, what's going
Well,
on
you
with
just
it?
haven't heard a lot about it because there's no egregious bullshit going on.
Okay. Yeah.
It's just a game set in the Middle Ages starring a dude trying to get a sword back that him and his dad made before his parents were killed.
Okay, interesting.
But you know, it's where's the drama, right? There's no
There is
drama.
none.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I mean, right? Like the fuck.
Well, let's move on to a game that does have drama.
Okay.
Coming in the near future, in February, actually, Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Mm.
Now, I want to preface this by stating I was a really big Assassin's Creed fan up until Syndicate. Yeah, no, Syndicate. Yeah, that was the English one. It was really they had their story in a good place up until part three, and then Assassin's Creed just really went downhill when it went the RPG route with Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla.
Yeah.
In Shadows, it's like I always say this: Assassin's Creed is just a reskin of a reskin of a reskin, just in a different era and time period, right? Or different place. Uh, I know Japan was such a big thing for Assassin's Creed. Everybody's wanted it, but ever since like Ghost came out and did it so well, like Shadows just looks like a shadow of Ghost, right? It doesn't look interesting. The characters I really don't care about. The gameplay is very stale and mediocre. The world design, I will give it to Ubisoft. It's always nice. It looks like a really pretty game, but like it looks like Valhalla but Japanese, right?
Yep.
And the biggest issue of Assassin's Creed these days is the story. The story hasn't been good in years. And it's just the same shit. And they sell you fucking skins in a single player game. Like, so many things wrong with Assassin's Creed now. And Shadows looks no different than anything else I've seen from the past few years from Ubisoft. Um, it's like a $70 premium game. Nothing new about it. The character Yasuke already is so unlikable. Um, I don't see Assassin's Creed Shadow being Ubisoft saving grace, like at all. I think it'll sell well, but for the most part, I think it'll be a disappointing launch for them in February.
That it?
That's it. I don't think, like I said, I know we're predicting flops, but we kind of started talking about just games in general. I don't think Shadows is gonna flop, but it's not gonna do good enough for Ubisoft to really dig themselves out of the hole they're in right now.
Well,
That's it.
I'll tell you what I think's going to happen. I'm
Hmm.
going to make a statement that is incredibly controversial. So, to anybody who has a problem with that, I think they need to mute their headset for the next 30 seconds. Okay, I've given you guys a fair chance. I think unless Ubisoft takes the black guy out of the game completely and completely replaces him with a Japanese character,
Mhm.
I think Assassin's Creed Shadows flops.
Really?
Yep. Yes, I do. And I don't mean that it doesn't sell some copies. It's definitely going to sell some copies, but I think it flops. And I think it's really going to struggle. And the reason I think that is because all you have to do is look back on the last year
Hmm.
and see how people have been reacting. And that's why I think that.
Okay.
Your money, right? Your ability to continue to stay in business comes from your customers wanting the product you're making. When the majority of the customers are pissed because of something you've done or a decision you've made, you are not going to make money. I think Assassin's Creed Shadows is not going to make back the investment Ubisoft has made into it.
No. No.
Too much woke shit, too much DEI shit, too much of that other crap. I think Yasuke is actually an incredibly interesting character of history. And I think including him in the game would have been a great decision. I think making him the focal point of the game is a huge mistake
Mm-hmm.
for a game that takes place in Japan. Now, I understand that Ubisoft takes creative liberties when they are producing a game. Do not get that confused for a second. But I think with all of the back and forth they've done with the fans, all of the bullshit that's gone on the internet, I think the only way to solve this is to memory hole it and completely relaunch it with a Japanese protagonist. You can
Sadly,
you do not have to like that take. You don't, but that's reality. That's reality. Because that's actually what people want. They don't want to play as Yasuke. Say what you want, argue it however you want. My friends are all excited. I don't care. Dude, you're crying in the wrong person's comments. I don't care. This is what the internet has said. This is what the people who are buying the game has said. I don't like this. It's going to flop. It will sell some copies. It'll be okay. It's going to flop. And coincidentally, I also predict that Ubisoft will go private.
oh, for sure, for sure.
Yep, I predict that Ubisoft is going to go private after this. They're going to have to make some changes because they're not going to be able to continue to be a publicly traded company in answer to their shareholders when they have to tell them, yeah, our game failed because we tried to force a black character down their throats when people didn't want to play as him. And they told us they didn't want to play as him, and we just didn't listen. We told them they were wrong and racist and bigots.
It's interesting.
That doesn't work anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because when Trump won the presidency, the narrative changed. Now you're not a racist and a bigot for saying that. Now you're just saying what everybody else is thinking.
Exactly.
Again, I'm not necessarily saying I feel this way. I'm not necessarily saying that I agree or disagree with the sentiment, right? That's important that you guys understand this. All I am telling you is this is what's been going on. You do not have to like it. You do not have to agree with it, but that's what's happening.
You know what's interesting, right? Is Yasuke, he takes you out of the world, right? Like if he was in the, if you were a normal Japanese samurai, you could like come in the world. That's fine. Like okay, oh wow, that's a cool reference that for a character nobody really knows about. Not a character, but like a person. But the thing is, there's so little known about him that having him as the protagonist is like so obvious that Ubisoft chose it just because he's black, and they're making the rest of his story up, right? Like, there's not a lot of information about the guy, even if he's an actual samurai. They just wanted to include him to scratch that inclusion itch.
Yeah.
And it's unnecessary. Like, look at his combat, right? Where you have the hip hop playing in the background, mixed with like Japanese sounding music. Like, it takes you out of the world. Like Naue, in my opinion, should have been the only protagonist if they were, to have an assassin. What's up?
Agreed.
Yeah. Like Naue, I think she's pretty cool. Like her parkour is cool, her abilities, her fight style is really neat. And she's an assassin. She's in the shadows. And if they were gonna have a samurai, there's so many like prominent, like, real people they could have used in that time period.
I think you're going to see a bunch more articles coming after gamers and people who basically say what I just said. I think you're going to see a bunch more articles coming after people like that leading up to the game's release. And I think and I don't think that game is going to be able to get off the starting line.
No, like I said, I don't think Assassin's Creed Shadows is going to do the numbers that Ubisoft wants. It'll do fine, but it's not going to do what they need it to do.
I agree.
And that's it.
Let's talk about a game that actually matters. Let's talk about a game that I actually think is going to...
Yeah, I'm sorry. I want to make a quick note before you go into that. This is the game that we've kind of been shitting on for pretty much years now.
Fuck Yasuke? No, I'm just kidding.
No. Skull and Bones is getting year 2 support.
No, it's not.
It's getting year 2 support, which makes no sense to me how they're bleeding money and they're continuing to support a game that made them nothing. Right. And then they canceled X Defiant.
Skull and Bones is not getting year 2 support.
It's getting year 2 support.
It's not.
Let me look it up right now.
Don't you dare tell me that.
It is. I'm telling you, it's Skull and Bones.
Dude,
Here too.
Ubisoft is going private. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, it's gonna remain supported for year two, despite no one playing it.
I'm actually going to kill myself after we finish recording this podcast.
And when this game came out, me and you predicted, oh, I guess Golden Bones a year, they'll finish out their seasons and then they'll kill it. Nah, they're putting more resources into a game that literally nobody plays.
Why?
And then they're canceling X Defiant or they're canceling Ghost Recon or whatever single player game they're
X
working
Defiant
on.
was trash too. Don't kid yourself.
Yeah, but if you had to play one, you would play X Defiant. Nobody's playing Skull and Bones. That game is dead.
That is very sad. I am shocked. I'm actually shocked. Wow. Okay, let's talk about another game. Monster Hunter Wilds will be a phenomenal success. Okay, let's move on to another game. There's nothing else we have to talk about. Monster Hunter Wilds is
Yeah,
going to be a
that's it.
success. No woke shit. No controversies. None of that other BS. Just it's going to be a good game. Monster Hunter World was amazing. One of the greatest games ever released. And Monster Hunter Wilds, I think, is going to continue the tradition of great Monster Hunter games. You guys can follow this channel for no BS reviews and takes on that. And you know I'll give it to you straight, just like I always do.
Mm-hmm. I will say, I've said this before. Monster Hunter Wilds is the first Monster Hunter I've been interested in after I played what's that game called?
I don't know, because it was literally the worst one, the one on Switch.
Dogma.
Dragon's Dogma
Oh no.
2, yeah.
Dragon's Dogma 2 made me interested in that whole fighting monsters and stuff, which is why I'm interested in Wilds.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then Monster Hunter, Monster Hunter Rise is the only Monster Hunter I played. It was on Switch, and it was so boring.
Yeah.
That's why I never really was interested in it, but I definitely want to play Wilds. It looks cool.
Yeah. Fun note, Dragon's Dogma 2, I was watching Starfall or whatever, Stormfall or whatever her name is the other day. She's kind of famous for shitting on Dragon Age, and she put Dragon's Dogma 2 in the lowest category of her Game of the Year
Really?
ratings. Yeah. It was. I told you, dude. It was a good game, but just the ending was so bad and poorly delivered. I just couldn't. I would not get past that.
That's fair.
Split Fiction from the guys who won Game of the Year for It Takes Two. I think it's going to be good.
That looks really neat.
It does. Jared and Sarah are actually probably going to play it together. Jared's
Those are great couples games. Yeah.
It is. I think it's going to be another good multiplayer game. But again, right? We saw it with It Takes Two, and I think we're going to see it with Split Fiction. I think we're going to see more of the same. They know they have a safe formula. They have a good formula. I think we're going to see more of it from them, and I think it's going to be good. I don't think it's going to have the same spirit, the same energy that It Takes Two had, but I think it is going to be good.
That's fair. I do like the whole like science fiction and then just like straight up fantasy in one game. I think that's pretty neat. But like you said, it is a formula that works. Like the game's gonna do probably great with sales. It's not, probably win some awards here and there, but it's more of like, it's just like the same. It's like It Takes Two, or if you ever played, I'm spacing on the name, but it's a prison escape game. Same.
Was it Two Brothers or whatever?
Something like that. Like the games are fun and they're cool, but I don't think it'll like do buku bucks. I think it'll sell great, and then
it'll be good. Mm-hmm. Hey, what are your thoughts on Atomfall?
Atomfall. That sounds so familiar. Is that the one from
It's a British post-apocalyptic game.
Yeah. It reminds me of that one Russian game. What's it called?
Not Metro, the other one.
The Bioshock-like game.
Atomic Heart.
Atomic Heart reminds me of that.
Okay.
A little bit.
Yeah, and Atomic Heart was a very rough game to get used to. There was, I mean, it is a good game, but it's a good game so long as you're willing to really like invest the time to learn the game's systems. because there are some things in that game where you're like, man, why can't I do this or why can't I do this? And as soon as you learn like one little trick, you're like, oh, this is fucking easy now. Wow.
Yeah, I'm looking here at it. It's more similar to Fallout, which I've never played
Yeah,
Fallout.
yeah. It's
The
like
game itself, like, I'm not really into games like that. I've never really been into like Fallout or Skyrim or even Atomic Heart. It just don't really do it for me. So a game like that, I probably wouldn't buy day one. But it's just, yeah, I don't see it's probably gonna sell fine on Steam. But
all right. Well, my list is really narrowing down.
well, what else is coming out? Let's see. I mean, we talked about all the really big releases. Oh wait, we're forgetting one massive thing. Are we stupid? Grand Theft Auto 6.
Go ahead, since you actually like GTA.
Correction. I like GTA 5. I never played the other. No, I played 4 as well. The stories are good. I've always been more into GTA Online. That's where I kind of do my thing. GTA 6 is going to be the biggest seller of the year. We already know it. It's going to happen. It'll probably release at above a $70 if rumors are true. And people are going to buy it up and it's probably going to be game of the year, honestly. That's my prediction for it. Depending on when it comes out, it'll probably be game of the year. It's going to be the biggest game of the decade. I mean, it's fucking GTA. We're going back to Vice City, which is my favorite location. As for the story, we know little to nothing about it. Very Miami, TikTok, influencer type vibe to it, which is an interesting story that they can explore. Um, I hear some bad things about wokeness in the game and all that, but again, we haven't really seen much of GTA 6, so I'm not going to really comment on that until we see it.
What
But
have you
my
heard? What have you
prediction,
heard?
I just heard about like DEI stuff and girl power and stuff like that, which is obviously, like I said, we haven't even seen like game official gameplay or anything story related, except for that one cinematic trailer. So I don't have much to say about that. It's just rumors. But just going off of it's Rockstar, it's Grand Theft Auto, it's gonna be the biggest game of the year. Like you can't even dispute that. It's gonna be the biggest game of 2025. It's probably gonna sell the most. I think that's gonna make probably $1 billion. We'll see.
Well, I think Lynn's gonna have to wait for the game to go on sale because her and I have a bet. If the game launches at $70, I told her I would buy it on day one for her.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her if it doesn't launch at $70, I said, then I will get, then you will buy it on sale.
Yeah.
Personally, I played so much GTA 3 as a kid
Mm-hmm.
on PS2. I used to play it every day after I get home from school. Get in a car, drive around, get a gun, shoot some people, blow some stuff up. Pew, 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 boom, boom, boom. I played it every day after school when I was in middle school, right?
Mm-hmm.
I tried to play GTA 5. I got GTA 5 for free. I want you to know that. I got it for free. I have a half-hour total playtime.
Just not interested.
Outside of just driving around. I have no interest.
Yeah.
Like I will not buy that game. And I will not play that game. Like, unless something brings me to it, right? Unless something really brings me to GTA 6, I'll never play it.
Honestly, if you don't like 5, you're probably not going to play 6.
I'm not.
It's because at the end of the day, it's GTA. We know what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Right. It's going to be in Miami. Yeah. It's going to be really pretty, and I hope the story's good. I do want to say something though, which kind of worries me, is because I'm pretty sure, as you're pretty sure probably, I don't think GTA 6 is going to be a $70 title. It's probably going to be 80 or 90, and that's going to really set a new standard for. Because listen, if Rockstar succeeds, which they will, and they're going to sell a shit ton of copies, these other companies that put out mediocre games are also going to sell their games at whatever price, right?
So just don't buy it. So just don't buy it.
Exactly. Well, I know. I'm just saying though, is you could tell plenty of people don't buy it, but people are gonna buy it, right? You can't stop it.
Then I don't feel bad for them.
And the thing is, like, but it's a ripple effect like, amongst the whole entire industry.
Yeah, I agree, but
You
don't buy
know,
it.
you're gonna have the 2Ks, the Maddens, the blah blah blahs for 80,
They're
$90,
not
and then like
80. They're not 90. They're
$130.
$20 games. Those are $20 games.
Well, I know. I'm talking about what they release, like, you know what I mean.
I
On day
know.
one prices, it's gonna affect everything, right? Your single player games, $80, $90, and games are expensive already.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's just gonna put it in a realm where games are they're already a luxury.
Yeah.
But it's really gonna be a place where like you're gonna really have to decide what you're gonna buy, and you have to be smart about it. Like I don't buy games much anymore. Aside from Silent Hill 2 was the latest game that I played, right? And it's because at the end of the day, a lot of them aren't worth your money, you know. And I already know that when GTA 6 comes out above $70, all the other publishers are gonna sell for the same thing with mediocre titles, and it's gonna be the new standard. It's gonna be more expensive and expensive and expensive the game.
Well, I think you're just poor, and I think you're just complaining because you're poor.
Unfortunately, I don't want to spend 80
If you
bucks on
weren't
a
so
video.
if you weren't so poor, you wouldn't have all these problems. Maybe you should learn to manage your money better, and you wouldn't be so poor. I love that. I love hearing that online.
That's
From
what it
people.
is. Yeah,
I love hearing that from people that don't fucking know me.
I've seen people say that in your comments too. Like, well, it's not that we're poor; it's that we don't want to waste our money in a game that we're not gonna play because we have jobs and we have.
And we have a life.
Oh, you don't like it? You're just too poor to buy it. It's like no, because if I play a single player game that takes 30 hours to complete, I want it to be good.
Yeah.
You know, that's
I
it.
think, I think GTA 6 will, like you said, be super successful, blow everybody away. I, I think there will be plenty of criticisms when the game comes out. I think some people are going to be surprised how similar to 5 it is. Don't kid
Isn't.
yourself. Don't kid yourself. It is going to be similar to 5,
Mm-hmm.
but I think people are going to be surprised how similar.
This is the thing, right? GTA 6. It's gonna be like I said. It's Grand Theft Auto. It's gonna be a bigger and very pretty world. Like it's Rockstar. Their games are gorgeous, right?
Yep. Yep.
The story's probably gonna be really good, but at the end of the day, it's just gonna be Grand Theft Auto. Like it's not gonna be any different from 5. Just new characters, new story, right? And then you're gonna pay what $90 for it. It's the same thing. I already know it's gonna be. And the main place that they're really gonna focus on is GTA Online, which you don't play at all. I don't think. Are you good? And he's been disturbed. Hang on.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Gamers, I hope he edits this out because I don't know what to say. But I hope you're all doing well. Had a good Christmas. And I hope you all have a good New Year. 2025 is coming up. The year actually really flew by. You should let us know, what are your favorite games of the year? And what do you think is going to flop in 2025?
It was a garbage truck.
It's a garbage truck, guys.
It was a garbage truck. Everything's fine.
All right.
But yeah, I think Avowed and Assassin's Creed Shadows are really gonna struggle.
Yeah. Avowed, honestly, that game's probably going to flop. Shadows is probably going to break even, if any, right?
Mediocre.
But GTA 6, obviously, it's going to be the biggest seller of the year. We already know it. That's what it's going to happen. Ghost of Yotai. Until we see more of it and the character in action, I don't care about it. I'm not going to buy a day one either way because it's going to be Ghost of Tsushima again.
To wait for sale.
Monster Hunter Wilds is probably the only game I'm really excited to play. It's for the sole fact that I can play it with Neo and everybody else.
Yep, Wilds will be a 10.
Yeah, for sure. Kingdom Come Deliverance, I know nothing about it.
It'll be okay.
I'm sure, yeah, I'm sure it'll do fine.
Yeah, it'll be good.
I mean, it already has its dedicated community, so it'll probably be just fine, you know?
Yep.
Is there anything else coming out in 2025?
Not that I know of at this time. I think in the next episode we'll have to try to hit some other ones if we miss
I
them.
mean, there's some anime games coming out next year, but we don't care about that.
Well, not right now.
Indiana Jones, by the way, is coming to PS5 next year.
Ooh.
It's yeah, it's what do they call those? A timed exclusive, right?
Yeah, yeah.
For Xbox.
I think that's a game that people that have a sense of exploration
Yeah,
will really enjoy because that
yeah.
is one of the best parts about this game.
I will say, I know this game is pretty popular. Little Nightmares 3, or the series in general.
Yeah,
I think that game, I found it really unique and fun.
yeah.
So
It'll be more of
yeah,
that.
yeah, it'll be more of the same.
Yep.
Just different. Yeah. But aside from those games, I mean, next year, I mean, there's like a new Pokemon coming out. But it's Pokemon. Um, honestly, like I said, all I can really think of that's gonna really blow up 2025 is GTA 6, if it doesn't get delayed.
Yeah, GTA 6 and Monster Hunter Wilds. And that was
Yeah.
actually my little side comment I was going to make that I
Oh,
thought GTA 6 would get delayed.
yeah, it's probably gonna get delayed. But Neo, we forgot
What?
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2
It's not coming out.
comes out 2025
No, it doesn't.
supposedly.
Dude, it got canceled. The whole fucking thing got shut down.
Did it? No, you're full of it. I need to look it up now.
Remember we reported on it?
I have to look this up. No, it's just delayed. It's not canceled. Comes out next year. Am I crazy?
Today.
Yeah, it's just delayed. But it's been delayed for like the past 3 years now.
First half of 2025. Well, it's not on this cart, so it ain't coming out in 2025.
Well, it's on the link is.
Okay,
But
cool.
yeah, I mean, Bloodlines 2, that's just gonna flop big time.
Yep.
They lost their entire original development team.
Yep.
Like that's all you gotta know. That's all you gotta know.
Yep. I don't think it's going to do very well.
Mm-mm. Anyways, that's all I have for 2025. You have anything else?
I don't. I have nothing. I'd like to see what the viewers think in the comments. You guys give us your thoughts on the games we think are going to flop and do well. What do you guys think? Like to see if you guys enjoy these long form
and
podcasts like
if
this.
If you guys disagree with us on anything we said today, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, and if
we'll have a discussion about it.
Us on anything we said, you're wrong.
Just remember, this is the fucking Balding Plebs. So
yeah, we're not gonna do a bunch of editing and shit to make you feel good about yourself. Stupid. I can't believe that. You guys give us your thoughts in the comments. Let's get a good discussion going on games coming out in 2025, and we'll see you goddamn plebeians right here next time.
bye, guys.